Welcome back to my YouTube channel. What we have here is our front door for our body shop, and we are actually going to end up spraying it a whole new color. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step instructional video, we'll call it, on what I did to get this door looking brand new in the exact color of our shop that we want, which is red. So stay tuned and I'll walk you through the process. So as we can see, I'm putting some black on the door. But what is this black that we're talking about? We're talking epoxy primer is going on the door first because this door has been stripped down to bare metal. What I ended up doing is using paint stripper to remove all the old finish on it, and then I ended up sanding it in 80 grit to get some of the leftover bits of paint on it off, and then I finished it in 180 to give it a nice substrate for my epoxy primer that I'm spraying right now to sit on top of. The epoxy primer is direct to metal using DP90LV. It's a PPG product. It is fantastic stuff. I try and spray whenever I can, wherever I can, because I much prefer that over an etch primer. I can go one nice good coat and I get that corrosion protection for the bare metal off one coat, where the etch primer you typically need 2 coats. With an etch primer it has to be top coated, otherwise the product won't work the way it's designed. The epoxy, you don't necessarily need to top coat it with a sealer or whatever, but I love this stuff. I over reduce it so it's mixed 2 to 1 to 1 as a epoxy primer, and I end up mixing it 2 to 1 to 1.5 to get it a little bit thinner so it lays down nice and flat, as you can see. Now with this door I'm doing 2 colors, one on the outside, one on the inside. So before I even spray my sealer, you can see there's a spot there. There's just a little dirt in it. I took 1200 grit, I sanded it nice and smooth, so then I put my sealer over top. The reason I'm putting sealer on top of my epoxy is just so I can have better color hiding. I tried mixing it a G shade of G6, came out a little darker than I anticipated, but it still worked out good for the color that I'm going to end up spraying it. Again, laying it down nice and smooth, and then we will get to the other side here, which we're painting the inside of the door white, so of course I'm going to put white sealer on the inside of the door. Now a big tip when spraying white sealer is I always put about 2.5, at most 2.5% black sealer in with my white. Makes it a very, very off-white, gives it better coverage because it has a little bit of black into it, but it still looks white. And when I'm spraying it, try and put it on as heavy as I can without risking the runs. But another tip is to under reduce it by 5% at the most, so you're a little grayer mix of white sealer and a little bit thicker, so it goes on and covers a whole lot better. Because especially when I'm going over top of black here, I need it to cover really nice. So if you like this type of instructional video, please leave a comment below. If you have any questions, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will be trying to come out with more helpful tips and tricks like this to make your paint jobs just a little bit nicer. Here's the look at the sealer, nice and smooth, it's all dried now. I tack in between every coat to hopefully eliminate as many dirt nibs as possible. If I feel one, I give it a light sanding with 1200 grit. Now if you're following me on Instagram, I was playing around with what color should I spray the door, and people were guessing, and people wanted me to spray the door teal. But we obviously went with red because that is the colors of the shop, and as you can see now, the red is covering very nicely over top of that sealer, that color. I wish it was a little bit lighter, but it's still covered really well. I ended up putting 3 coats of color on 2 was good, but I just wanted to get the 3rd just in case I had missed a little spot here or there. But 3 coats of red using the Omni Plus paint system. Great stuff, especially if you're more budget conscious, but you still want a high quality product. So I ended up just spraying the outside red, got my color on, I let it dry, had to run out, get an errand. So I let it dry for at least half an hour. I let mine dry for an hour, and then I'll show you in a second here the finished products. It does look like it's not fully covered here, but that's 3 coats of color right there. Ended up masking off the face of it, so then I could spray the white without getting white on the red. Didn't have any bleed through, which is great. Pretty happy with that. And now I'm attacking it with some clear coat using Omni MC262 clear coat. Again, Omni products, great products, very well priced. It's not going to break the bank, and it's going to hold up for a long time. Has a nice shine, it polishes nice. But here is the first coat of clear. I'm doing both sides, but I'm doing an eggshell finish on the inside, and I'm doing a high gloss finish on the outside, as you can see. I didn't worry about masking one side or the other and doing it 2 times. I figured whatever overspray gets over, it is what it is. But I sprayed the red side first and did the edges around. So if you actually look at the door, when I did the inside of the eggshell, you can kind of see where the eggshell and the high gloss meet, just on the edges of the door, but the outside still looks perfectly glossy, just the way I wanted it to be. So if you like content like this, kind of giving you a breakdown of what I end up doing to this door to make it look as good as it does, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stick around for any how-to videos or paint videos that I might be posting. See you.